seemingly a great start to the season, then became a rough start to the season.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like the amount of relief I felt, honestly, just I felt like a new man the rest of the week. So yeah, it's been nice. You know, not that our season was over, but it kind of felt that way to a certain extent. Like, I mean, we could have still won a race, right, and made the playoffs, but you're going to be at such a deficit the whole season. So yeah, I definitely feel like I got a new life in a sense, just because it stings when it's the first race, right? And you kind of buried the whole season, but now I feel like I'm back on a level playing field.
We saw this week kind of leading to the two, and the last couple of times it's for right hook, it's been performance and money as opposed to suspension previously. NASCAR talked about looking at a case by case basis. Are you comfortable with that, or should he just be, look, it's a right hook, and that should be?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm a little torn. If it's a right hook under caution, right, that's different than under green. But I do think that it doesn't really matter if it's at Talladega or Martinsville, whatever. Like the consequence is still the same. The guy that gets right hooked is going to the back, probably going to crash his car to a certain degree. So I definitely think that it doesn't matter what speed you're going or how much the car gets tore up. It's still the intent of doing it, right? It's no different in a sports game like a basketball. Flagrant foul is a flagrant foul, no matter if it's super egregious or if it's just right on the borderline of being a flagrant foul or not. So to me, it definitely the intent was there. So that's how we're going to do it. I just feel like it's to be such a gray area if you're going just based on the circumstances that it's in.
Did you feel like there was a stain on your pole, and you feel if there was, that there is none now that?
Yeah, I mean a little bit. Yeah, just because at least social media, right? Like everybody's like, oh, that's why they got the poll, and it had nothing to do with it at all. So yeah, I definitely feel like it legitimizes things a little bit more. But yeah, I know internally, like we all knew that it was totally legit. But I think from just the outside's perspective, it definitely makes it a little more. People can not have such a black eye on it, I guess.
Did you feel? I mean, I know you felt like you had a good case, but were you still surprised you won an appeal?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, we've seen other people be able to do it, but I think, the whole appeal process is to try to, first off, give you the opportunity, which I'm thankful that we had. There could be no appeal at all, right? But at least we had the opportunity to go and present our case, and I think that when you see it get overturned, typically I guess the evidence is there, right? And for us, we brought 20-something plus spoilers and spoiler bases in, and they all had all these different things that were messed up with them. So, when you looked at the evidence, it was clear that, it wasn't an issue of something we did. It was literally just assembly, and there was issues with the building process of the spoilers themselves. So, yeah, I definitely think that it was a surprise, I think, to all of us that it got completely thrown out just because you don't normally see it. But when you looked at the evidence, I went in there not knowing anything. Like, I didn't know what we really were in trouble for. So I felt like I was just as much on the appeals board as they were. And when I was watching the evidence on both sides, I was like, man, like, how do we not win this? Like, it just is common sense. So yeah, I was glad that, like I said, we had the opportunity to do it. And obviously glad that, it was, with the evidence that it was able to get overturned.
So what struck you about being in the field? That's your first appeal here.
Yeah, that was my first time ever being in there. It definitely was a longer process than I thought. We got there at like 9:30 in the morning, and I think we finally got done at like 2:30 or 3, so it was way longer. I told NASCAR they need like live stream them so everybody can watch it, because it's super interesting, like just seeing both sides of the story, right? And like I said, I'm just appreciative that we had the opportunity to even do that, right? Because it could have been a penalty, and we don't even have a way to try to appeal it. But fortunately for us, we were able to do that and show all the evidence.
Getting it, having it thrown out, how does that act as a catalyst for you to say, okay, I've got nothing holding me back now. I'm in one of the best teams in NASCAR. I just have to go out and win.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, changes my perspective a little bit, right? Like, I can go and I don't have to force so much now, where when you're at 47th in points or whatever it is, you have to go force things a lot more to try to win the race, because that's at the end of the day all that really matters. Where now I can let things kind of come to me, and you know, on those days where you do have a 5th to 8th place car, you know, just try to maximize that day. So trying to be forced to win with it. So I definitely think that it allows me to kind of come into my own a little bit more, and you know, not just force the issue so much.
You say you don't drink, so how'd you celebrate winning the appeal?
James is going to kill me, but I had a chocolate dessert.
Is that not on your diet right
a
now?
lava cake. Yeah, I had a lava cake. Yeah.
Ice cream on top?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.